Goodyear Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. We're excited to have you be a part of this important public process. Tonight, you will have the opportunity to address the commission on both non-agenda and agenda items. The agendas and speaker request cards are located in the back of the council chambers. You must fill out a speaker request card in order to address the commission. Please hand in your completed card to a city staff member. You may check the "I do not wish to speak" option on the card. This allows you to still voice your opinion on an item on the record without having to speak. In accordance with the Americans with Disabilities Act, please contact a staff member if you need any assistance. Public comment on a non-agenda item will take place during the citizen comment portion of the evening. These are items that don't appear on tonight's formal agenda. The commission secretary will call your name when it's time for you to speak. At that time, please approach the podium and tell us your name for the record. You'll have a maximum of 3 minutes. The timer is on the screens visible from the podium. Note that you may also choose not to speak if other speakers before you have said what you wanted to say. Shouting, cheering, and loud noises will not be tolerated, and violators may be removed for disrupting the meeting. Goodyear Planning and Zoning Commission meetings stream live on YouTube and online at goodyearaz.gov. Follow the city's social media pages so you don't miss out on all that's happening in Goodyear. Thank you for coming to this meeting and being an active part of your city. And remember, it's a great time to be in Goodyear.
Welcome and good evening. The Planning and Zoning Commission meeting for Wednesday, May 7th, 2025 is called to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will the Secretary note the roll?
Commissioner Roberts is present, Commissioner Booth is present, Commissioner Hagedis is present, Commissioner Wang is present, Commissioner Nepomuceno is present, Vice Chair Sambito is present, and Chairman Clymer is present.
Okay, item number 1 is to approve the draft minutes of the last meeting. Will the secretary please read the recommendation?
Approve the draft minutes of the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting held on April 9th, 2025. Is there a motion and a second for the staff recommendation?
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, fine. We're doing roll call votes tonight. Okay. Give us one moment then. All right, so I actually had a motion from Commissioner Nepomuceno. Who would like to second? I'll second. I have a second from Commissioner Hegedus. And if you can, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
Okay, now is the time for citizens who would like to address the Planning and Zoning Commission for any non-agenda items. Are there any speaker cards?
We've not received any.
Okay, does anyone in the audience wish to speak on a non-agenda item? Okay. And now this is an opportunity for commission members to disclose any ex parte communication they may have had prior to this meeting on any item scheduled for discussion on this agenda. Ex parte communication is an outside communication commissioners may have had regarding tonight's agenda. Do we have any?
No.
Okay. All right, going right into the first and only item on tonight's agenda. Agenda item number 2 is the CSP for Estrella Falls and GSQ. Is this a public meeting or
It's just a regular
Regular-
item. Yeah.
just a regular item? No banging at the gavel, okay. Assistant Planner Jimmy Carrion will present. Good evening.
Good evening, Chairman Clymer, members of the commission. Welcome to the new members. Since I've been here, there's a couple new members, so welcome. All right. So as Chairman Clymer mentioned, my name is Jimmy. I'm an assistant planner here with the City of Goodyear. And I'm here before you this evening with a request from Nicole Valenzuela for the approval of a comprehensive sign package, which I'll be referencing as CSP for short, for approximately 330 acres of commercial, retail, and mixed-use property. This new CSP will merge 2 existing CSPs within this area, which encompasses Estrella Falls, Goodyear Civic Square, and GSQ where we're here now, and then the future GSQ Regional Center to the east of us. So a little bit of background, the subject property was originally part of the Goodyear Planned Regional Center Planned Area Development, or PAD for short. And in February 2000, council approved an ordinance rezoning the property from AU, or agricultural urban, to final PAD mixed uses. And in September of 2006, council approved the Estrella Falls CSP within the Goodyear Planned Regional Center. You can see from this aerial photo that the Estrella Falls CSP boundary encompasses this whole 330-acre site. However, the CSP only provided design guidelines for the Market at Estrella Falls Commercial Center. And you can see that in the graphic here. So concurrently at that same 2006 meeting I was just referencing, council also approved a use permit for 2 freeway pylon signs within the Goodyear Planned Regional Center PAD. And these signs were captured in the Estrella Falls CSP that was approved that same evening. And then during an April 2016 public hearing, council then approved an amendment to the Estrella Falls CSP, which at that time provided design standards for what was to be the future Estrella Falls Mall, if you recall. However, this CSP amendment did not provide standards specific to the middle section that you see here labeled Future Zone, which we now know as GSQ, or Goodyear Civic Square. And this also included the BB Living residential community to the north of us. And then as you can see from this graphic, sign standards up to this point were identified for the Market at Estrella Falls and on the eastern boundary, and then a future Estrella Falls Mall on the western boundary. And then during that same April of 2016 meeting, council also approved an amendment to the original use permit that was approved back in 2006 for the freeway pylon signs, permitting the construction of one additional freeway pylon sign. So that brings a total to 3 signs being allowed, and you can see that from the graphic here. One thing to note, this approval also allowed one of the 3 freeway pylon signs to house an electronic message display. So that's the graphic there on the left, the pylon there on the left. All right, so next in June of 2019, council approved an ordinance for the rezone of approximately 104 acres within the Goodyear Planned Regional Center, PAD, for a development to be known as Goodyear Civic Square at Estrella Falls, PAD. Okay. Then in July of 2021, council approved the CSP for Goodyear Civic Square, approximately 48 acres of the land within the Estrella Falls CSP. And this new CSP did provide standards for GSQ, which had not been identified in either the original or the amended Estrella Falls CSP. And then most recently, in February of 2023, council approved an ordinance for the rezone of approximately 152 acres to be known as GSQ Regional Center PAD. You can see that in the area highlighted in green here. So just the development to the west of us, or to the east of us, excuse me. And then with the adoption of the GSQ Regional Center PAD, there are now within this area 3 separate PADs. Okay, so we have the Goodyear Planned Regional Center PAD, Goodyear Civic Square, and then now GSQ Regional Center. There are also 2 approved CSPs within this area, both having very different design themes as they were created in different years. To note, we have the Estrella Falls CSP and then the Goodyear Civic Square CSP. And just wanted to provide a little bit of context on the varying design themes of those 2 CSPs. So here's an example comparing 2 multi-tenant monument signs. The Estrella Falls theme here on the left, which is erected today in and around the market at Estrella Falls, just to the west of us. And then you have the GSQ themed signage here on the right, which you may have seen just recently popping up in and around the surrounding areas of GSQ. Okay. So the request before you today is a recommendation of approval to council to approve a new CSP titled the Estrella Falls and GSQ Comprehensive Sign Package. And this new CSP would merge those 2 existing, the Estrella Falls and the GSQ CSP, into one unified document, removing any conflicts or contradictions. Furthermore, the design standards for the commercial and mixed-use area located within GSQ Regional Center, just to the east of us here, and in the green shaded area on the graphic, will be updated to mirror the standards of the GSQ CSP, so what you see in and around City Hall. Okay, it will utilize the same materials, color palette, and design theme. And this update will provide a cohesive and seamless look and feel to the future development in the area east of Bullard Wash. Okay. The merging of these 2 existing CSPs will also allow users within the bounds of the GSQ CSP to utilize the freeway pylon for signage. So as it stands now, users within the GSQ CSP, so that's the red area you see there in the center, would not be permitted to advertise on those future freeway pylon signs. And I've identified that location with the little red pin at the bottom right corner. And the reason for that is the bounds of the GSQ CSP do not encompass the area where those pylon signs will be located. And so that would be considered off-site signage, which is permitted, not permitted in the city. Apologies. So at the moment, and with having 2 approved CSPs for this area, the CSP standards are very intermixed. So administratively, this merger would also save staff time when reviewing future sign requests for this growing area by providing one document with all the standards laid out. And then I quickly wanted to point out that the residential area to the north in the upper part of this map here, highlighted in blue, this is residential area and it follows Article 7 standards of the Goodyear zoning ordinance already. So today's request also includes updates to the design of 2 previously approved pylon signs that have not yet been erected, and these are the freeway pylon signs. The design would transition from that of the Estrella Falls CSP design to the more updated GSQ design standards, as you can see here. So we have the Estrella Falls there on the left, and then the GSQ on the right. So this would be a rendering of one of the freeway pylon signs that has the digital electronic display. Okay. So here, I wanted to provide another example. On the left, you can see the Estrella Falls freeway pylon sign, and then on the right, the future GSQ rendering. And this is simply a representation of a freeway pylon sign that doesn't have the digital message display. Okay. I want to note that no other design changes to the Market at Estrella Falls sign standards are being proposed. Those will remain intact. So we're thinking about the Market at Estrella Falls to the east of us. No other changes are being proposed. They're not having to update to meet the standards of this new design. And then I wanted to provide a graphic representation of how the 2 future freeway pylon signs and placement would look. So you see the current existing sign, that's A1, that's what we have out there now. And then if there were 2 erected, they would go in this order. Also, the GSQ identification letters that we have at a few hard corners in and around Civic Square will also be added at 4 different locations throughout the GSQ Regional Center to the east of us. And this is just to add to the cohesive transition from the Goodyear Civic Square to the future development to the east. Okay. And then all other signage identified for the GSQ Regional Center area will follow the same design standards as identified in the GSQ CSP, so the current CSP for this area in and around us. And will carry over the standards approved for Goodyear Civic Square and again within that GSQ CSP. So just like the existing signage standards for the Market at Estrella Falls, the sign design within GSQ Civic Square will remain intact and no other changes are being proposed at this time. So staff has evaluated the impact of this proposed CSP. No major concerns were found. The request meets the evaluation criteria for a CSP as set forth in Article 7 sign regulations of the Goodyear zoning ordinance and subject to stipulations. So staff does recommend approval of the Estrella Falls and GSQ comprehensive sign package. And just to summarize, I wanted, you would be basically recommending approval for the standards of GSQ Regional Center, so the development to the east of us that you see, to match the same design standards as what you see in and around GSQ, which was recently amended and approved by council. Okay. So that concludes my presentation. I'm here to answer any questions. An applicant representative is also available.
Okay, thank you, Jimmy. I think that's good, that certainly we won't have to spend any extra money to update any signage just because we're making changes.
Yes, sir.
Anyone have any questions for staff?
Just to make it straightforward, does that mean that we're just making it consistent across the board between the 2?
That's correct, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Anyone? Does the applicant want to say anything?
I'm just, my name is Andy with Boots New Sign Company. I represent GSQ and the property owners and the developer, and it's been a pleasure working with Jimmy. I mean, we didn't get to this point easily. It was talked through, and then Jimmy kind of guided us through how he wanted to see a sign package and kind of put a final package together to where everybody was happy with the final product, you know? So
Good.
I think it'll be great to get the designs for all the entire area to be uniform. So, yeah.
I
That's
think
it. Unless you have
that,
questions.
I certainly think that'll be great too. Okay, thank you. Are there any speaker cards?
Yes.
Oh, there's somebody else.
Well, I do have a question. So
Yes.
what if a new? Can you hear me? Okay. If there's a place here currently that has a sign and they decide that they're no longer going to be here and someone else comes in, like how is it going to say uniform? Or maybe to the east or to the west of us, not necessarily this area. What package are they following? Are they following the 2006 one or the 2019 or this one? Because then it wouldn't be consistent.
Thank you, Commissioner. So with this proposal, we're not proposing to change the current standards for the market at Estrella Falls. So any future tenants that go into that area would still follow those same design standards. And so if the design standards wanted to be updated, we would have to evaluate that and bring that forth.
Okay, anyone else?
So Jimmy, this is not, this is only for this area. So how does this compare with the rest of the city? It's not a citywide, this is just for this specific area.
That's correct, yeah.
So how
mainly
does this
the-
compare with the rest of the city standards?
Sure. So as you know, this area is the city core, and, so it's vibrant. We want it to be the city core. And so all we're doing is recommending the same standards for the GSQ regional area as we currently have for GSQ in and around City Hall, just to provide that cohesiveness. And so the reason for bringing this forward to Planning and Zoning Commission as well as council is to approve those standards because they do fall out. Some of the standards do fall outside of just Article 7 sign standards. To say that, though, they were already approved with the GSQ area, the same standards. So we're not asking for anything above and beyond. It's just to be consistent with the future development.
So you're saying we have different provisions based on different areas then? Like for instance, on the west side of just this GSQ, where you have that Winco and all the other commercial there, do they have pretty much the same provision for signs?
Sure. So there's actually a comprehensive sign package for that. So you're referring to Pebble Creek Marketplace.
Yeah.
There is a comprehensive sign package that has specific standards for that center.
Okay. Thank you.
Any speaker cards?
We've not received any.
Okay. Anyone in the audience like to speak? Thank you. Okay. Would the secretary please read the staff recommendation?
Recommend approval of the Estrella Falls and GSQ Comprehensive Sign Package dated April 2025, subject to stipulations. Is there a motion for the staff recommendation, or you can voice an alternate motion? Okay. It was motioned by Commissioner Nepomuceno and seconded by Commissioner Booth. The floor is open for commission discussion.
I think it's going to be great for it. To me, it makes complete sense, so I have no issue with it at all. Anyone else? Yeah. For sure. Okay.
Please enter your vote.
Do I have a yes or no? I'm over. Too many places.
Motion has passed. Recommendation of approval will be forwarded to City Council for the May 19th meeting.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Are there any staff communications?
There are staff communications. Good evening, Chairman Clymer and Commission. At your April 9th Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, you considered a rezone for 267 acres from Las Palmas PAD to I-10 Citrus Gateway. And at Council's April 28th City Council regular meeting, they voted to approve that rezoning as y'all recommended with a vote of 6-0. That's my staff communication.
Okay, thank you. Next Planning and Zoning Commission meeting will be held on June the 11th, 2025 at 6 p.m. in these chambers. No further business to discuss. The meeting is adjourned.